Good morning, sisters. Welcome to, actually, I don't know what episode this is, and I'll be honest, it doesn't matter to me, so I'm not sure that I'll label them which episode, but I don't know, 14, 15, somewhere around there. Welcome back. We're going to wrap up what we talked about last time, a couple weeks ago, and that was the organization of your food storage. So we talked about the different ways you can organize your food storage by what they're bottled or canned in, like boxes or whatever. You can do the macronutrients, micronutrients. You can do all the cans together. It's just kind of up to you how you do it. I'm going to finish that up a little bit today and then talk about a book that I found that actually I was a little bit dismissive of years ago, but I actually think it's kind of a cool idea. So we'll talk about that for a minute. I just want you guys to know that there are better blogs. You probably already know that. There are more blogs and better blogs out there. I want to do a shout out to Danielle Randall. The stuff she sent out was amazing. That's some of the best water storage prices I've seen. So if you can jump on that, I can't remember what the expiration date was, but it's just a few days into April, I think, that you can't get those prices anymore. So maybe consider getting some water storage tanks or whatever you can afford quickly with those prices and have those on hand. And yes, if anybody ever has stuff they want to throw out there, we can put it on here. We can put it out in the newsletters, in the circles or Google, however, YouTube. We can put it on whatever we need to get it out to you guys, because I'm all about, if you have a great idea, if you have great information or great knowledge, let's share that. So, let's just fix this a little. We are going to talk about storage conditions for the first part, and I know we've already talked about that, but really it's so important where you put your food storage. It's variable. I mean, it can take a little bit of heat and cold, but the way you're going to lose your food storage or not have it be edible when you go to need it is by not storing it in proper conditions. So just to recap on that, there's those 5 things to watch out for. If you can keep it in a cooler, dry, dark place, please do so. However, if you spread out your food storage, even if you do have a storage room, it's not a bad idea just for this reason. Let's say your home was damaged in a natural disaster and maybe the roof over your storage room collapses and you can't get to it. But if you had stored some of your food storage in a closets or under beds or little corners here or there, then you could still have access to some of your food storage. I have a friend that was about 8, 9, 10 when the Teton Dam broke in Idaho, and that absolutely affected her house. It was gone. But they had their food storage in the basement. They had to dig it out. It was buried in mud. And so obviously some of it wasn't, usable. They couldn't use it, but the cans they kept and they were using. They had to. With that devastation, they needed that food storage. And she said it was always like surprise meals because the labels were no longer on there. So they couldn't tell what was in the can. So they would just open it and have it, whatever it was that they found for their meal. But yeah, I believe in miracles. I do know that sometimes these things happen, that we're asked to do these things, and then it just seems like, why? Because it's all gone. But I think that God can work with miracles with your efforts and with what you do have. But if you have nothing and no effort, probably not going to be first in line for that miracle. That's just my opinion. Let's see. So spread your food around. Maybe keep a list or however you want to do it. A spreadsheet of your food storage. That's not a bad idea. So you know what you have at a glance and you can help to rotate a little bit better. I told one of my friends, I said I felt kind of like a hypocrite because after a year and a half of living here, we still don't have the food storage room the way I want it. It's in there. It's mostly accessible, but my long-term storage, number 10 cans and whatnot, they're still in boxes. And my husband asked me the other day, what do we need? And I just looked at him and said, I have no idea, because I can't get to them. So I'm kind of waiting on shelves to be built, and kind of particular about the shelves, so hopefully I get those. Let's talk about this book that I got. Let's see if you guys can see this. It's called It's in the Bag. I think I told you a little bit about this, that I would share it today if once I got it and what I thought about it. I actually think that it's a novel idea. I have two gripes with it. The one, they claim that it's space saving, and I'm not going to disclaim that because I've never done this. So it could be, you know, a way to save space. But the other gripe I have is that there are a lot of canned items that you use in this. Yes, it's great if you can use the home can, but they also use like a lot of store-bought canned goods, which isn't a bad thing, except that they usually have a lot of preservatives and a lot of sodium and a lot of sugar to preserve them and can them. So, but there are ways and substitutes in here. So I thought it covered a lot of really good things. So basically, see if you can see this picture. So they have 100 recipes in here and meal plans. And what it is they just have gotten all these bags that they just put down inside all of the items. This looks like it might be a spaghetti dinner. So with the spaghetti and a can, and that kind of looks like tomatoes to me. They just take the bag off the shelf and everything's pre-measured. So they do have, your one thing would be investing in bags to use and investing in reusable containers that obviously are sealable. So they would put all the spices, whatever, in baggies or little containers in these bags, as well as package up what they need for the dinner. And then they would pull that out, literally just grab the bag, fix it, prepare it. It's all there. A few fresh things if you can, and add those in. It also has a section on, let's see if I can find it. Should mark these. So sprouting. And that is not something I know a lot about. I have not sprouted before. I have taken a class or two on sprouting, but not having done it, I feel like that's not an expertise for me. So if that's important to you, that's a very nutritious thing to do. You do need a little bit of things to get started, but you can improvise with some homemade, get by with other things to do sprouting. Anyway, so she has a section on sprouting, and then I can find this. Oh, and also in this, there's a homemade sprout drainer and sprouters that she gives plans for and pictures, kind of do-it-yourself kind of thing, which I thought was really cool. Then she talks about chickens, which I have joined the ranks of backyard chicken. I don't even know what you would call us. Anyway, I'm sure there's a word for us. But yes, thank you to our neighbors for the coop. And we have 6 chickens and they're growing nicely. And we'll start that in a little while. Because it occurred to me that the one thing I'm really going to miss if we ever had to use our food storage, I can have canned meat and frozen meat and, you know, other various ways of meat, dried meat, freeze-dried, but I can't, the eggs. I'm going to miss the eggs. You can get egg powder, but it's super expensive, and then again, you need the water, and it's just not quite the same as a fresh egg. It's all right, and you can make it work, but you're going to have a bit of it, and I just sat and thought about all the ways I use eggs, and all the times I made eggs, and all the things I would plan on baking, and I kind of want to have those eggs. So that's the chickens. Anyway, really cool chicken coop design. Very intricate, very involved from someone who knows what they're doing with chickens, which is not me right now. I thought that was really, really neat. So they give you the plans and the designs for that. Also talks about canning meat. It's just a really, really good little book if you're interested in having that. Also, I am sure that Danielle, I know that she, I think, follows a blog, which is probably much more informative and helpful than this one. Hopefully what we're hoping to achieve by doing this every week is just to nudge you guys and remind you that, you know, I'm not the end all, definitely not, but it's just a reminder to get you guys going and planning and doing. Just do a little bit every week. Just whatever you can do in your circumstances, and you're going to be good. You're going to be good to go. But you got to do it. You got to start, and you got to continue to do it, and then you got to use those foods. So that's our hope by doing this, and I will see you, since we're out of time, a couple weeks from now. You guys all have a happy Easter and happy storing. Talk to you later.